Are we witnessing the most shocking trade scenario of the 2025 season? One that could send shockwaves through both coasts and completely reshape two franchises' futures? The basketball world is buzzing with speculation that might seem impossible at first glance. But when you dig deeper into the numbers and motivations, it starts making a twisted kind of sense. We're talking about the Philadelphia 76ers potentially trading away Paul George to the Los Angeles Lakers. And the implications of this move are absolutely staggering. Let's be brutally honest about what's happening in Philadelphia right now. The 76ers are sitting on what might be one of the most expensive disappointments in recent NBA history. Paul George, the man they handed a massive contract to be their third superstar alongside Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, has become more liability than asset. The numbers don't lie, and they're painting a picture that should terrify every 76ers fan. George is averaging just 2 points per game this season, his lowest scoring output since returning from that devastating leg injury back in 2014-15. We're talking about a player who was supposed to be a legitimate championship piece, now putting up numbers that wouldn't even guarantee him a starting spot on most competitive teams. But here's where it gets even more concerning. George has only played 41 games this season, marking the 5th time in 6 years that he's failed to reach 60 games played. This isn't just bad luck anymore. This is a pattern of unreliability that's becoming impossible to ignore. The hyperextended knee in preseason, the aggravated knee issues in November, the injured pinky finger, and now the persistent groin pain that ended his season in March with adductor and knee injections. When you're paying a player over $45 million per year, you expect them to be available when it matters most. Instead, the 76ers got a player who shared the court with Joel Embiid only 15 times all season, and even when they played together. The results were mediocre at best, a 7-8 record that hardly screams championship contender. The financial reality is what makes this potential trade so compelling for Philadelphia. George's contract is an absolute albatross, tying up massive cap space for the next 3 seasons while delivering inconsistent production and constant injury concerns. The 76ers have built something special with their young core. Tyrese Maxey at 24, Jared McCain at 21, and VJ Edgecombe at just 19 years old. These players represent the future, while George represents an expensive mistake that's preventing them from maximizing their potential. Now here's where things get absolutely wild. For the Lakers to make the salary math work on a Paul George trade, they need to clear approximately $50 million in cap space. There's really only one realistic way to make that happen, and it involves a move that would send shockwaves through the entire basketball universe. Trading LeBron James. Think about the irony here. LeBron James, the player who's been desperately trying to win another championship before retirement, could potentially be traded to make room for Paul George, a player whose injury history and declining performance make him a questionable championship piece at best. The first potential package we're hearing about is absolutely mind-blowing. LeBron James and Bronny James heading to Philadelphia in exchange for Paul George. Can you imagine the media circus that would follow LeBron to the city of brotherly love? The King, potentially finishing his career trying to deliver Philadelphia its first NBA championship since 1983, while his son starts a professional journey in the same organization. The alternative package is less dramatic, but potentially more realistic. Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, and Christian Wood heading to Philadelphia for Paul George and young center Adam Bona. This scenario gives the 76ers immediate salary relief and multiple expiring contracts that would free up around $40 million in cap space for the 2026 offseason. From Philadelphia's perspective, either trade represents a massive win. Even if LeBron James decided to leave as a free agent after 1 season, they'd still have accomplished their primary goal, getting out from under Paul George's contract. The worst-case scenario for the 76ers is still better than their current situation of being stuck with an injury-prone, underperforming player eating up a quarter of their salary cap. But let's examine why the Lakers might actually consider this seemingly insane proposition. Paul George, despite his current struggles, still possesses elite talent when healthy. His career averages of over 20 points per game, combined with his defensive versatility and playoff experience, make him theoretically valuable. The question is whether the Lakers are willing to bet their immediate future on George's ability to stay healthy and return to all-star form. The timing couldn't be more crucial for Los Angeles. They're in the middle of what might be LeBron James' final championship window. And if the King is truly considering his options, trading him for a younger star like George might represent their best chance at extending their competitive timeline. Anthony Davis paired with a healthy Paul George could theoretically form a championship-caliber duo, especially with the supporting cast the Lakers have developed. However, the risk is enormous. George's injury history suggests that betting on his health is a dangerous gamble. His performance when paired with another superstar, as evidenced by his limited time with Embiid, has exactly inspired confidence. The Lakers would essentially be trading a guaranteed Hall of Famer for a player who might not be available when they need him most. The psychological impact of this potential trade cannot be understated. For LeBron James, being traded at this stage of his career would represent a seismic shift in how we view superstar loyalty and franchise building. For the Lakers, it would signal a willingness to prioritize future flexibility over immediate championship aspirations. For Philadelphia, it would represent the ultimate admission that their Big Three experiment failed spectacularly. Looking at the broader implications, this trade scenario highlights everything that's wrong with modern NBA contract structures. Teams are forced to make massive financial commitments to players based on past performance and potential, only to find themselves trapped when those players can't deliver due to age, injury, or simply not living up to expectations. The 76ers built their entire championship strategy around the idea that George could be the missing piece alongside Embiid and Maxey. Instead, they discovered that adding an aging, injury-prone wing to an already injury-prone center creates more problems than solutions. The basketball gods have a cruel sense of humor, and Philadelphia is learning that lesson the hard way. For Lakers fans, this potential trade represents the ultimate test of faith in their front office. Rob Pelinka would essentially be betting the franchise's immediate future on Paul George's ability to recapture his all-star form while staying healthy enough to contribute in meaningful games. Given George's track record over the past several seasons, that's a bet that would make even the most optimistic Lakers supporter nervous. The ripple effects of this trade would extend far beyond just these two teams. It would fundamentally alter the Western Conference playoff picture, potentially create new championship contenders, and serve as a cautionary tale about the dangers of overpaying aging superstars in today's salary cap environment. As we watch the situation develop, one thing becomes crystal clear. The NBA's trade landscape has never been more unpredictable, and what seems impossible today might be tomorrow's reality. What's your take on this absolutely wild trade scenario? Do you think the Lakers should roll the dice on Paul George's injury-plagued career? Or would trading LeBron James be the ultimate betrayal of everything this franchise represents? Let me know in the comments what you think about this potential blockbuster. And don't forget to smash that like button if you're as stunned by these trade possibilities as I am.